Our guest on the Motherhood Network is a true trailblazer in South Africa's media and advertising landscape, celebrated for her fearless leadership, sharp business acumen, and unwavering commitment to transformation and empowerment. Odette van der Haar is the former CEO of Association for Communication and Advertising and has held top leadership roles at renowned agencies including JWT and Publicis Africa Group. But beyond her impressive resume, she's a woman of deep faith, a devoted wife and mother, a passionate champion of servant leadership and community upliftment. And with her signature blend of honesty, humility, and heart, she reminds us that motherhood and leadership are not in conflict, but rather that they are beautifully and powerfully connected. Are we rolling?
Are we rolling?
Okay, action. Welcome to the Motherhood Network, a platform you deserve. And oh man, our guest today is Odette van der Haar. Odette is a distinguished leader in the marketing and communications industry, renowned for a strategic vision and unwavering commitments to gender equality and transformation. As a former CEO of the ACA and J. Walter Thompson Johannesburg, she just brings a wealth of experience and authenticity to her role and has done that for many, many years. Also being so inspired to empower the next generation of females. It is an absolute honor to have her here today. We have guests, but this is someone who is just so close and so dear to my heart. Odette, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here.
You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Hey, we're laughing in success when it comes to your story. Hey,
Thank you.
I say that because also you're just really hilarious. You're such a great time and a good vibe. And a lot of people don't know that side of you.
Everybody thinks I'm so serious. I'm so strict.
Yeah.
Okay, my kids, I am strict.
Yeah.
But I'm quite like chilled and I've a great sense of humor.
Yeah.
I love laughing.
Yes.
Laughter is sometimes just the best medicine for a tough day, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or a tough situation.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, something I learned about you, I remember meeting you for the next brand ambassador.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what a time. And you were judging. I remember everyone was like, oh, Odette's coming. And at the time, you were CEO, right? Which is incredible as a female. So already I was intimidated and I thought, oh, she's going to be tough to work with. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to do. Am I like astute enough? Is she going to think that my jargon is right when I speak to her? You know, all these things were going through my brain and my head. And I just remember thinking, wow, she's the most humble, kindest human being.
You.
And so giving.
Thank
You.
you.
Yeah, the show's about motherhood. And I must say, something that really, years ago, really moved me was when you said, you know, Nance, I was a young mom.
I was.
Yeah.
I was a kid.
You're a baby, and you were judged quite roughly about that. A lot of people,
Absolutely, yeah.
were harsh.
Back then, it was taboo, you know, to be a single mom.
Yes.
And to choose to be a single mom. When a bad situation comes your way, I always tell young ladies, you don't need to stay.
Yes.
You have to make a choice, you know. And it might look like the choice is tough in that moment, but if you stay, it will be tougher, you know?
Absolutely. And that moved me so much. And so a lot of people watching here are single mothers, you know, are young mothers as well.
Nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. You can change the way your story goes, you know. Also your autonomy, you choosing to leave as well, a toxic situation. And so that changed everything for me. First of all, it made you more human because I was just seeing the CEO was incredible with a Birkin bag. I think you're one of the first people I saw with the bag. I said, ooh, that's a Birkin she has. Just suddenly there in the corner. But also just the fact that you're like, no, but Nandi, this is my story. It hasn't been that easy.
It wasn't.
So take us through that. You know, that's incredible.
You know, it's so funny. I was chatting to a mutual friend of ours just yesterday, and I said to her, you know, when I think back about how it is that I've come to be where I am now, and how my upbringing, my childhood and childhood experiences, as well as young adult experiences, framed who I am today. It also has made me super sensitive to the people around me and their circumstances, because you just don't know everybody's story, right?
Yes.
So growing up, cussy kid,
Yes.
dusty streets, did not fit.
Mhm.
Too brown to be white, too white to be brown.
Yep.
You know, so you're kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And it was in the 80s. It was crazy. It was on the East Rand. The country was in a state of like emergency. And my mom got a permit for me to go to this school, a convent school with nuns.
Back then.
Back then.
Were you allowed to though? Because you're a person of color.
My mom was resourceful.
Okay.
My skin color was the rightish color.
Mm.
My hair told a whole other story. And it was my hair that was the bane of my backside, if I can say that, because we had a product called curl activator.
Yes.
Right? And when we had swimming,
your hair
you
goes
can put
home.
that swimming cap on how water will get in.
Yeah.
And your hair will tell you who your ancestors are.
And we've spoken about this. And I'm so glad you're actually raising it up. You know, a lot of people don't speak about the traumas we had in the past, whether it's colorism or, you know, having hair that's African. And especially as a colored person, you've been quite open about that and that experience and how traumatic it is. Not a lot of people speak about the colored experience as well.
Well,
you know?
here's the thing. The irony is that I was registered as other. I wasn't other colored. My husband was registered other colored. I was just registered other.
You were just
other because they didn't know what I was. They couldn't do the pencil test in my hair because I had no hair until I was 2. So when they went to Home Affairs looked at this baby and said, other.
So is that what happened back then?
Yeah, my ID number was 016. I had a strange ID number. So when I got to matric, it was 1991, and that was my ID number. I had to have an ID. And I remember when I got married and I had to change my name, I got a new ID number, well, the 08 number, kind of. And people always assume when they see me, Odette van der Haar, Afrikaans white lady.
Yes.
No, guys, totally Tswana, totally mixed race, totally not my name.
Is it one of those situations where someone calls you and then they see you and they go,
and they speak Afrikaans.
They're
like, Goeienade. And I'm, good morning. Just to taunt the situation, not because of anything.
Yes.
And then they say, oh, I'm sorry. Don't apologize. But this is who we are as South Africans, right? We are so diverse. And we're so rich. Our tapestry, our making is so blended.
Yes.
You know?
And beautiful.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
And I'm now growing my grays out.
Yes.
It's also a kind of statement of how I embrace just who I am. If you think I'm other, I'm other.
Yeah.
Whatever makes you happy. If you think I'm colored, then I'm colored. If you think I am Afrikaans, ek is nogal Afrikaans.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's just kind of meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
But where does that flexibility, almost of fluidity come from? Is it just a survival instinct? Because even when I met you, you like, Tswana girl this day, another girl next day. And I love that about you.
When you finally realize that your identity is intertwined with how you feel.
Oh.
Right?
Yes.
Who you are in the moment, if you're happy, that's your identity. It's not about your skin color. It's not about your race. It's not about your gender. It's not about what your hair looks like. It's about how you feel. Today I feel like so good because my makeup is on point. My hair is on point. I'm feeling like I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sleep deprived, but I'm good. And that's kind of what my identity has become. And I think the older you become, and as a mom, when you got to guide your kids through the difficulties of life, you need to get them grounded in their emotion. How to accept their emotion, how to manage their emotions, and how to be emotional.
Yes, it's important.
Irrespective of whether they're a girl or a boy, you know, because those days of you're a boy, you don't cry, they're gone. You're a girl, you need to be like a tough boss babe. No, those things are so archaic. You just need to be you, you know. If you're having a good day, good. If you're not having a good day, it's also okay. Tomorrow's another day.
So let's go through your experience as a kid. So we continue. You seem to be an overachiever. You represented South Africa.
I wasn't
initially. But didn't you make the championships?
I did.
Drum majorette?
Okay. I did.
Yeah.
And P.W. Botha put that medal around my neck.
Oh, wow.
I'm just saying.
Really?
Yeah. South African champion for 5 years in a row. And it was a way of achieving success in something that I was doing at school, because in the classroom, I was constantly told, because I'm super ADHD,
yes,
that I am stupid, that I will amount to nothing, and that I know nothing. And I promise you, it was so bad, but it was the times, you know. My 10-year high school reunion, I kid you not, they said I was dead. They said I died in a car accident. They lit a candle and said a prayer for me. I was shooketh. And then when they had the 20-year reunion, that's when social media was around.
Yes.
They could find somebody in Switzerland and they could not find me here in Joburg. I promise you. So I did what I do, called up the organizer and said, hey, I'm calling you to tell you that I'm alive and well. I'm not calling you from heaven or hell. And I hear there's a 20-year reunion. May I attend? I would like to see the girls from school. And she said, yeah, okay. They then obviously did a bit of a search. Yes. They saw who I was. They then asked me if I would MC. So no problem, I would do that. Yeah. Got there, and I remember walking in, because you arrive a little bit early because you almost treat it like a gig, right? Yeah. So you arrive a little bit early, you check, you see what's the setup. And there stood the teacher who told me all the years that I was going to amount to nothing. As I walked in, she said to me, are you still so unruly and disruptive? I said to her, ma'am, I have waited my whole life to tell you this. I am not scared of you. I'm a grown woman now. I have kids of my own. And let me tell you something. Photosynthesis is the problem of my garden service. How the plants get their food is not my problem. If I see a locust, I don't care that it has a head, an abdomen, and a thorax. I will doom it. And when I see K, the last thing I think of is potassium. I think shop. She was speechless. And I walked in, I was like, I'm a new person.
How powerful.
I stood up to the bully and I got my power back. It was a defining moment for me. I was free of the stigma of being stupid. Because when I got into the room with all the young girls, ladies, women, 20 years later, and looked at them and saw that they had the benefit of the best education, the best everything, and they didn't use it. There's nothing wrong with being a stay-at-home mom.
No, not at all.
But they went to marry rich to stay at home. And I was one of a handful of young women who actually went on to build a career.
So what was it, that resilience, where you chose not to define yourself? And I say this, I mean, you speak of P.W. Botha, for example. I mean, that's crazy.
It is, eh?
I mean, and you know what that era was about. Then also being a single mom at some point, a young mom as well. How's it that you never defined yourself in a negative light? What was that thing that kept you going when everyone was telling you, no, you're a man to nothing?
I've always been like a square peg in a round hole. Okay. I didn't fit, right? I always had big dreams. I always knew I didn't belong in the status quo as a statistic. So I broke the mold one day in May when the then father of my son said he would choose his friends, the Kasi life, nice times, and everything that went with that over me in my pregnant state. And I remember my first job being a Girl Friday. Now, I don't know if many people know what a Girl Friday is.
No.
It's one up from the cleaner. And you would relieve the receptionist when the receptionist went on lunch. My job was to literally file stuff, put it into files. And it was the most boring job ever. I used to misfile things all the time. I would put the papers in, put the paper in, put the paper in. And my boss it used to drive him crazy because filing is there to bring
of
order.
course. Yes.
My filing
You're
was
doing the opposite.
everything but order.
That's the lack of the executive functioning. I'm sure it all makes sense now.
He said to me, why don't you just read what you are filing?
Okay.
And I said to him, read the papers. Then I thought, I'm so tired of this man moaning. Let me read the papers. Reading the papers that I was filing was actually reading everything about the business. Everything. So what suddenly happened was that I knew everything about everything about everything.
Incredible.
And then in the kitchen, when somebody would say, I have this client, blah, 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 and then I'd be like, but didn't you see the client said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the facts that they sent? And they looked at me like,
how do you know that? Yeah.
And that's how I got my first promotion. Typing tenders.
But then what's the lesson there? It was investing in understanding the business ground up.
Not just doing a job going through the motions. It's about being present and taking pride in every little act, even if it's filing a piece of paper. Right?
Oh, I love that so much.
I then got into the typing of the tenders.
Yes, because now you've been promoted. Yeah.
Nobody taught me how to type. I didn't have a typewriter thing. I figured it out. And because I'm OCD as well,
yes,
my things were beautifully presented. All of a sudden, the tenders start converting because they're beautifully packaged. Nobody taught me. That was an inherent gift, right? And from there, I realized I do not earn enough money to raise my boy.
Yes. How old is he at the time?
He was a year old and I was 21, going on 22. And I was like, 1,028 Rand is not going to take me far. My medical aid was 500 of that 1,028 Rand.
Odette.
I'm telling you. We used cloth nappies because it was just too expensive, and
those nappies.
Kimbies. That was the brand of disposables. You only use like 1 or 2 when you go out, so expensive. And I remember my boss saying to me, look, they can't give me more money. I don't really have qualifications in anything. And I thought, well, the only way to get more money is to get another job, which I then did. And I remember in the next job, got a bit more money. It was okay. And then I got another job because I needed to get a bit more money. And then I landed in a job where the boss said to me, you are way too intelligent to not have qualifications. You need to go back to school. The company gave me a bursary.
Okay.
I was petrified. I thought, I'm not the studious kind. I mean, I'm not very good at
because there's also trauma from school.
From school.
I can't do this.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So then I get accounting. And they give me all these books, a ledger, a journal, a cash book. And they're talking about the transactions and capturing them. And I'm asking, which is the book I'm supposed to write in? I didn't know the difference between the stationery, let alone the transactions. I just wasn't there, right? He was the CFO of Clover, my lecturer. And he said, come, sit down. He took the time to say, this book is for this. This book is for that. He didn't treat me like I was dumb.
Amazing, yes.
I'd never done accounting in school. I didn't know what was going on, right? He explained it to me like, do you have an Edgar's account? Yes. Debit, credit. I was like, oh, they give you credit? Right. When you, and then I was like, oh, I get this. All of a sudden, my first A, my first distinction. Then I was like, I'm not dumb. I am so cum laude material. My first A, my first qualification. I'm 2 down and 2 and a bit. I'm I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid.
But that realization must have made you quite emotional.
It was so empowering. It was so empowering. Different isn't dumb.
Different isn't dumb.
I am as creative as I am strategic.
And so your fuel was your son?
My son, because I needed to keep him going.
Absolutely.
Right?
And what else was your fuel?
My son. My son,
Just
because
your son.
I needed to
reasons
provide
as
for
well.
him.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
and provide for us, and I wanted to be independent.
Yeah,
I wanted to build this life that everybody was frowning about. Because
but did you see this life? Did you vision this life? Because everyone's telling you can't do it, and now slowly but surely people believe in you.
My thing is, you can't. I will always ask you, why not? Because I see the end from the beginning, right? So you tell me, no, this can't be done. And you keep telling me it can't be done. And I'm not understanding why not. You need to give me the reasons why it can't. And every reason that you give me, I'll say, but if you do this, we can. But what if we do this, then we can. But what if we do that, then we can. There's no such thing as can't, So my son was the fuel. I needed to be able to provide for us. I wanted to have a place of my own. Yes. I wanted us to have a little home. And it required money. Money required for me to have some qualifications. And so I started climbing the corporate ladder. And before I knew it, I was in the C-suite, 2 qualifications down, and hungry still for learning. And 1 child became 2, became 3. Yes. An incredible husband who is as patient as a saint. Yes. Really. Yes. Because I'm crazy. I'm creative. Yeah. I'm everywhere.
You have the best husband. Yeah.
And he enabled me to be a mom, a businesswoman, crazy visionary, mad. Yeah. And then he'll rein me back in to say, but here's the earth. Okay, where we live, the rest of us. Come back. And then, that was kind of it, my kids. So people say to me, why are you studying again? I say, because my youngest is studying.
She's studying in LLB. Yes. I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, so I'm doing a whole new career qualification thing. People said, why? So, well, what else was I going to study?
But also, I understand why people say why, because I was one of those people, just so you know, guys, because you've been CEO, you've gotten, executive producer, you've gotten so many properties, so many things, you've acquired so much in your lifetime.
But
why
do
not?
You ever have enough knowledge? Really, do you ever have enough knowledge? So my youngest is, if we've calculated this right, he will be studying for 4 years.
Yes.
I will be studying for 4 years. If I expect him to show up in his studies, to take it seriously, to put in the effort, how better to show him than to do it with him? So when I say to him, I'm studying, I've got a semester test coming up, and he's sitting in front of the Xbox and it's exam time, my university, your university, same WhatsApp group, you should be hitting the books just like me, right? So it becomes a thing in our home where it's not a drill down. It's we are studying. We are writing semester tests. We are doing assignments,
And normalizing that, but also leading by example, And you're right.
Children don't do what you tell them to. They do what you do.
Yep.
So you want them to study?
Study. Want them to be kind? Be kind.
100%. You want them to climb the corporate ladder? Climb the corporate ladder. Yeah. Show them what is possible, My children are like me, unfortunately, lots of ADHD is going around. So I'm very mindful that their confidence sometimes isn't where it should be. And it's so easy for me to forget what it felt like to be that 50, 60%er.
Yes.
Yes. That one that was going to be stupid and amounted to nothing.
Yes.
So I have to constantly remind myself to be gentle with my kids and to meet them where they are at in terms of their confidence.
You know, sometimes we forget because, you know, being neurodivergent is highly genetic. But what you've done is so important, where you've reminded yourself how you felt as a child.
Yes.
You know?
And I never want my kids to feel that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Just being an empath in that way, taking the time to understand their journey and remind yourself of yours.
You know what's so crazy is my kids are all like different gens.
Yes.
So through my kids, I am learning to relate to either the people who work with me or work for me, because the younger the generation, the more creative and the more talented, more energetic they are. But the more different they are to what we are. So I'm very like old school in terms of work, my work ethic, be on time. And younger people are all about, I have, therefore I should get. I am, therefore I should have. And I'm not of that school. I'm of the, I work, therefore I will get. It's a very different mindset. So my kids teach me as much as I teach my kids.
Yeah.
And what I've loved so much about my husband, 30 years, this guy, he allows me to be me.
Yes.
But he's kept me grounded as a traditional woman. So I can tell you tonight we're having pap and tin fish.
Oh, but also your Sundays.
Listen, Sunday lunch
Baking
is a
and
thing.
it's not just...
Sunday lunch is a thing. So now, because I'm a student,
Yes.
I say to them, guys, I have class. Can you guys sort out dinner? And it will be like whatever the guys put together, right? Sundays, I have no day off in terms of cooking. It is like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 colors.
All of it.
Everything.
And I've seen this.
Right.
With desserts as well.
And
as
dessert. And then
freshly baked.
Yes.
From the beginning.
We had
You
a
do
good
the
laugh
whole
the other
thing.
day.
Yes.
I was making a pecan nut pie. And I haven't made one in such a long time, because the last time I made one was with my sister, my late sister. And I kind of just didn't go back there because, she taught me. So I thought, no, I will make a pecan nut pie for my family, just because it was my birthday also. And I thought, let me do this. And my husband says to me, no, you can just put like one row, because I'd sent him to get pecan nuts. He didn't get enough and he had to go back to get them, like more. And he was like, no, you could just put like one. I was like, you are too used to shop bought. You need to eat a homemade pecan nut pie.
Yes.
When it was done, he said to me, we are never buying a pecan nut pie ever again.
And I've seen your desserts. I've seen your food.
You know, it gives me joy when they eat something and they love it. When people come and visit and I whack up something quick in the oven, and it gives me joy to make people happy. You know, my home must feel homely. It must smell like home. It must feel like home. You must never feel like you're walking into an ornamental place, you know?
Yeah.
Although I like everything on its place.
Yes. Oh,
you know?
That we know. But also just as well as, I always wonder, and you've spoken to me about this, the relationship you had with your mother. I mean, you took care of her last days.
My mom and I had a love-hate relationship growing up, because it was difficult.
Yeah.
She lost my dad, the love of her life, when I was 8 years old. She didn't see her life. And now that I am in my 5th floor stage, I can appreciate where she was in her life.
Yes.
She lost my dad when she was just beginning her 40s. And as a woman, when you turn 40, there's something empowering about that number.
Yes.
She didn't envisage her life going in the direction that it went. And so there she was. She lost everything, the love of her life, their business that they were building. And we went from this double-story house, living very comfortably, to like the Kasi life. Like literally, she had to go and get a job as a tea lady. And everything changed. She was bitter. She was hurting. And in my teen years, she was hard. She was hard on me because life was hard on us. It was a difficult time in the country. It was a difficult time in her life. And she was just hurting, you know. Later on, when I became a mom, I saw things through a different lens. I saw that my mom was prepared to put her beautiful shoes aside, her ballet shoes aside, put an overall on, and become a tea lady to put food on the table.
Amazing.
As a single mom, a now single mom, right? I saw her resilience. I saw that when there wasn't any money, we ate from the garden. How she repurposed vegetables. For the record, I don't eat brinjals anymore.
Because of that.
I'm traumatized. Worse than the trauma of locust photosynthesis and potassium.
Yeah.
But it's what she did. And
Yeah.
now I have an appreciation for it. Because now I'm still a CEO of my own business.
Yes.
And it's hard when you are an entrepreneur. And it's not always easy from, work clients paying, you got to manage your cash flow and all kinds of things. And you got to repurpose your grocery shopping. You got to repurpose meals. You got to do things that keep your family going whilst you're keeping your business going, And
Sure.
it's not always like people look in and they think, oh, you've got everything together. I'm like, yo, guys.
No.
It is
It's impossible.
a juggling act
Yeah.
all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
You said something so profound where, and it's true for a lot of our parents, our mothers in particular, they went through a lot. So they had to be tough.
They had
tough
to.
On us.
They had to be tough. And I only
Tough with
realized
us,
that
yeah.
when I became a mom.
Yes.
I was like super tough on my kids.
Mm.
And I'm so proud of my kids.
Yeah.
My daughter is a CA.
Yeah.
My son is climbing the ladder in the ad industry. I tried. The ad industry.
You try to make him avoid that. And he said, but Mom, I'm inspired by you.
Something, but then
my industry.
And then the youngest, last year in matric,
yeah.
I said to him, okay, so where do you want to go? He's like, the ad industry. I'm like, what is wrong with you children?
But that's what we love, genetics as well.
But this is the thing.
But Odette, something I was impressed with as well is the fact that you made him intern.
Oh,
for
yeah.
one of your shows. And I thought, okay, that's
No.
When he didn't have to. He didn't have to do this.
All the time.
Oh, all the time. Oh, he's still interning.
Oh, yes.
That was just a once-off.
No.
Oh, Odette, okay.
You must work.
Yeah.
Right? So
Love
he'll go to our business partner, our CEO at the show, and he'll like talk to him, Uncle Yusuf, whatever. And then I tell Yusuf, hey, he's on the clock.
he
must be working.
Yeah.
And I put him in the trenches.
Yeah.
He went out with the crew. His job for an entire day on an ENG was to hold the umbrella over the camera so that it didn't overheat.
I love
He literally had to stand all day with an umbrella in his hand.
But from a value perspective, that is so important.
He came back and he said to me, I had to stand with an umbrella and just the whole day. What a waste of time. I said to him, now let me tell you, if you didn't hold that umbrella, what would have happened? Camera would have overheated. Shots would have been overexposed. The content that we were filming, it was with one of the national teams. I said to him, would have been compromised.
Yeah.
When do you have the opportunity to have that opportunity?
Yeah.
Right? Your job was one of the most important jobs, as trivial as it looked. And he was like, oh, and I said, you need to look through the lens of everything you are doing. Take everything you're doing. Don't just put the papers in the file.
Yes.
Take it seriously, Make sure you take responsibility for what you're doing. From there, gaffer,
Yes.
bashing cables.
Yes.
From there, into the content team. He was thinking, oh, I'm going to content produce. No, he was going to phone the guests and give the information for the call sheets.
But I love the fact that you're normalizing
That's what he has
it.
to do. Yeah.
And that's so important in terms of parenting. A lot of parents get confused where they say, what do I do with my child? Because yes, they may have a lot, they may be privileged somewhat. But what do we do essentially?
Our kids are privileged and they probably could go to like holiday club or whatever. but no, they go to work.
Because
Why?
that's how you build the character.
I went to work. My first business, I was 6 years old selling fishbones. My dad taught me that you waste nothing and you don't eat your profits. So they had a fish and chip shop in Sophia Town. And the guy who used to fillet the fish used to leave a little bit of it. So if you take a piece of a hake, it's got like a triangular bone, right? So he would fillet the fish, Lucas, and leave a little bit of fish on the bone for my business. So he would batter the fish bones, and he taught me that you wait for the kids to come from school. So as they walked past, the smell would pull them in. But kids wouldn't have money to buy fish and chips. So this is how old I am. They would buy 2 fish bones for $1.
Oh, wow.
That was my business.
That was.
And I was so hungry, and my dad would say, you don't eat your profits. And I would be smelling this fish and be like, oh, the smell, like I'm so hungry. And he would say, you don't eat your profits. And then I actually should have brought it today to show.
You don't eat your
have,
profits.
Yeah, I actually still have my takings books with all my deposit slips from when I was 6 years old. Wow. I would go to the bank, deposit my takings, and of course my dad would take the overhead, you know. And he taught me that to get to profit, there are some costs. And if you want that little bit of profit, you can't eat it. You got to bank it. You got to roll it over. And once my fishbones business was going, I was allowed to work in the shop. So I could sell at the sweets. Now you telling a 6-7-year-old kid they can't eat the sweets.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? You're like, don't eat the profit.
Don't eat the
Don't
profit.
eat the profit.
Dear mothers and value members of the Motherhood Network, this is a gentle reminder to sign up for our newsletter. And while you're at it, please don't forget to click the like and subscribe button to ensure we continue to give you quality content you deserve. Plus, stay tuned for details on our Mother's Day 2026 event. It's going to be absolutely spectacular and something truly special. The Motherhood Network, a platform you deserve.
Yeah.
But that discipline as well makes
100%.
so much sense. It's so funny how, from a character perspective, everything you learn as a child makes you who you are. And even hearing some of your story, I'm saying that makes so much sense because I've been with you on sets. I've seen how you work. I've seen how diligent you are and kind as well, being sensitive to everyone, all of the crew as well. But I'm hearing a lot from your upbringing, you know, and even your struggles in general that shaped you.
I think sometimes we forget. Our struggle can very well be the next person's struggle. So I used to always struggle on the show where I remember, I would have to be so serious, and because I had to be that mean judge, you know, and the poor contestants. I remember that one guy, we called him Short Circuit because he couldn't even touch the key. He was so nervous.
So scared of me.
And yeah, my heart is melting, but I'm like,
no.
But I was being paid.
Yes.
I had a character. I need to be in character.
Yes.
I need to do my job.
Yes.
You know.
And I remember I'd laugh, saying, if only they knew how kind she is.
I know. But then at the same time,
that's life
it
as
helps
well.
you help them overcome the difficulties of being in a tough work situation.
Yes.
Because you're not always going to be in a job that you love.
No.
You know? I sure as hell have not always been in a job that I love.
Which is something we're actually going to touch on now. You know, you say CEO as if a lot of females get that position.
Yeah.
You know,
I was
and I'm
always
talking
the
about
only
big
female in the
companies. Yes. How was that experience?
Generally speaking, the only female around the boardroom table for a long, long time, and the only female of color in the room. Sometimes the only person of color. And I remember negotiating the sale of a subsidiary company. And I sat with a whole lot of bankers and a whole lot of bean counters. Very intimidating bunch of people from a very large financial institution who were acting on behalf of the buyer. And it was just me. And I sat there and I thought, I will not be intimidated by you. I will get the multiple I want for this company. I will sell this company to you at a price that I have determined because I have determined that. And I don't care what your numbers say, I will get it. And I did. Not because I'm an accountant. Not because I'm this clever strategist in terms of mergers and acquisitions and sale of assets. Because I looked at them and I thought, You will not intimidate me.
But Odette, you're talking about executives here who don't look like you. You're
They're
the
people.
only female of color.
They're just people. They're just people.
But that bravado, where does that come from? Just being that brave? Because corporate is very intimidating. And as a female...
Do you know how being on camera has taught me to be a different persona? Right? So you go into the room and you just keep yourself super serious. And anything they say, you just, I don't agree. And all of a sudden, they start questioning themselves. The same way people did it to me,
Yes.
I can do it to people when I need to.
Yes.
And the same way you can be empathetic when I need to. You know what I mean? So you meet people where they're at. So these people come in, we're going to intimidate. I'll intimidate.
But I love that,
you want to be like, oh, we're so, like, we're cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool. You know?
Absolutely. So just reflecting that energy as well.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think this is what the world is missing. So
Yeah.
everybody thinks they need to be a certain way.
Yeah.
No, you just need to be present.
And to be honest, a lot of people actually don't know what they're doing half the time. And are just trying to intimidate and pretend this whole facade as well. And slowly but surely, people are cracking the code, especially when it comes to corporates or you just,
In corporate,
Yeah.
everybody's struggling. Times are tough. Times are tough for everybody. And gone are the days where you can use the color of your skin, your gender, anything like that as an excuse to get off lightly. If anything, we who are women will have to work 10 times harder than our male counterparts. It is a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Is it going to change? Probably one day when our children's children are in the boardroom. For right now, accept it, embrace it, and do the work. When you are in the position, open the way for the others to make it easier for them. But know that you have to work 10 times harder. It is what it is.
And
Stop
I know,
fighting it.
Yeah, I know you've been big on that, especially when it comes to transformation, not only of people of color, but just females as a whole. Take a girl child to work, that is, you've been at the forefront
advocating
of it.
for
Yes.
us as women
Yes.
to be whoever we want to be, not just barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen. You listen, you can be a mom, you can be a wife, and you can be an executive. But it is not going to be easy because your family expects you to be present. So you're going to have to get organized in your life. I schedule a hard stop in my diary every day.
I've seen the schedule.
Like literally,
Yeah.
ping on my computer, and then I have to go home now. And I will literally end a meeting. I'm sorry, we will have to pick this up tomorrow. Why? Because I know I have another responsibility, right? When I get home,
And sorry to interject, you're unapologetic about that as well. Because I think that's
Yeah.
important, where we tend to apologize
where
and feel
would I
bad.
be without my kids and my husband and my family? I would be an empty vessel.
Oh, I love that, Odette. Yes.
Like, who would I be
Yes.
if not for my family? My family are my everything. My work is my everything. So without those two things, like, what would I be? What would I be doing
And
here?
that's so true. Yeah.
So when I'm at work, I'm at work. When I'm at home, I'm at home. When I'm in varsity, I am actually studying. I promise you. Ask my classmates. I'm the head girl. I'm the
You are
student
the head girl.
representative. I am the
And I believe
scribe.
that. I believe that
I
indeed.
promise you.
Yeah.
You just have to be present. And I think that everybody thinks, if you're in the boardroom, there's no work. What's this work-life balance thing? What is it? I
Because
don't know.
it's not
I don't
practical.
know that
Would you
thing.
say because it's not practical?
No. What is that thing? I don't know that. I just know that you must work, you must be present for your family, and you must be present for your husband, because, whoa, can he be like a child and need attention too? I promise you.
Yeah.
So
and that's
carve out your schedule. Know that when you are at work, you are working. When you are with your kids, you are momming. When you are with your husband, you are wifing.
do it for your off days as well, because people need to hear from people like yourself. You are this powerhouse.
Off days.
Are there no off days? Well, actually, with you, I've seen that there are no off days.
Off days.
I have plenty off days.
So off days.
But just the
are you
days that
meaning-
you're not feeling yourself.
I have off days every day.
I love that.
I have off days every day. Because when I'm not at work, I'm off work. When I'm not with my kids, I'm off mommying. When I'm not with my husband, I'm off wifing. So I have off days every day. So when I'm saying off, I need you to be clear. Off of what? Because there is never a you are doing nothing day. Because then your life is going by and you are achieving what?
So you're able to segment
You
your
have
timetable and
You have to.
absolutely,
You have to. Your day starts early. I want to go to gym now. The show starts at 5:30 with the news.
Yeah.
Right? So technically I need to watch the show.
Yes.
So I can see what's going on. Right?
Yes.
You don't want the show to go off air or anything like
Yes.
that, right? So 5:30, I need to be in front of a TV-ish thing. So I need to go to gym. So from 5:30 to 4:30 is sort of work day. From 5:30 in the evening to 8:30 is student day. So in between that, I need to find time to gym when? 4 o'clock in the morning. So you wake up earlier.
You're still doing the 4 o'clock in the morning.
I still do the 4 o'clock in the morning.
I witnessed this, so I know that's true.
4 o'clock, 4:30.
Because we would fly
4
to Cape
a.m.
Town from Johannesburg. Red eye flight.
Red-eye
You said,
flight.
oh, I was at the gym.
Yeah. You want to exercise, you make the time for yourself. What are you waiting for somebody to give you this work-life balance? Create it for yourself. Go to work. After that, you're fresh. You put in 8, 10, 12 hours, whatever your schedule requires, right? Use the time in between. So when I'm driving, I return calls, I return messages, or whatever the case may be. Technology helps you. Siri, call Nandi. Siri will call Nandi. I don't need to be, I can multitask. When I'm in class, I'm present, I'm taking notes. Why? Because my study group depends on me as well. 8:30, I've studied, I've taken the notes, so it's in my brain. I can shut down, and then I can be present for my family. So what did you do today? How was your day? And then I can, 9 o'clock, kids are asleep. I can say to my husband, so what did you do today? And what are we watching? What series are we watching now? And then we catch up,
So I love the fact that you're so clear about your scheduling then and organizing yourself in that manner. But also I just feel like then you feel less overwhelmed.
Yes, but I also told the the teachers at my children's school when they were going through the schooling system, I work. Sissy, I work. I cannot
and so what
be
did
the
you
class
do?
mom.
Because that was my next question. What do you do?
Manage expectations.
Okay.
I work. I'm not going to be the class mom.
Yeah.
Do not phone me for nonsense. I am busy. Do not phone me. If the child is not feeling well,
Yes.
give it a Panado and let it sleep in the sick bay.
Yeah.
If the child is not bleeding out or something, it is fine. I promise you.
And
Don't
look,
be like
your children are all grown and they're
100%,
fine.
100%.
Yeah.
If the child is not listening, Mamela, you need to exercise your authority over the child. You have my blessing. You need to take control over the behavior in the classroom. Don't phone me. Mrs. Haar, the child is not listening. Why? Who's the teacher? Who's the child? Right? Understand that. I told my children, I can't be at every soccer game. I can't be at every cricket match. I can't be at everything. But I'll try to be at the ones that really count. And I'm going to stay.
I feel like I can hear the sigh from a lot of the audience. You've just normalized something that a lot of moms feel guilty about.
because we should rise ourselves to. So I tell them, guys, you want to go to the school?
Wow.
This is a good school. The school costs money. I got to work. Dad's got to work, right? But grandfather, grandmama, they got nothing to do. They'll be there.
I cannot thank you enough for normalizing that, because I know a lot of fellow moms feel so guilty that they cannot be there because they're trying to provide for their families as well. And just from a practical perspective, you're saying you don't necessarily have to be a part of all the events, but you'll be there for some of them.
For some of them.
It's okay.
And it's okay to bring your children into the reality situation, conversations, Yeah, we live comfortably. But this doesn't come from just the sky. it comes with some sacrifices. So I can't be there. I can't be the class mom. I can't be the one organizing the concert costumes and whatever. I can organize it, but I can't be there. And my children quickly saw this on Entrepreneurship Day. So I was banned from Entrepreneurship Day because I look for efficiencies in everything, right? Little Aiden, I said, what can I do? I need to have something for Entrepreneurship Day. And I said to him, let's do a photo booth. So he said to me, how does that work? I said, so you're going to hire a photographer. I know exactly who. Uncle Nick, he's got props and stuff. We're going to make a little makeshift studio and you're going to charge people for the photos. Wow. So all the other mummies bake cupcakes and whatever. Blah. Because the queue for the
so
photos.
much, I can imagine. The whole school, I'm sure.
The teachers
as well.
I was like this. And so then he quickly, this kid is a hustler.
Yeah.
He quickly learned that if there are two people in the photo, no, that's 2 photos. That's double money. And literally, he paid Nick, it was an hour, right? I think
Brilliant.
the hour rate was, I think, 750 or 950
Yes.
rands. And then the printing was, I think, 5 rand or something per photo. So those was his hard costs. So out of his money, he had to pay the photographer for the hour. And then he charged, I think, 20 rand for a print.
Wow.
So he was making 15 rand profit for every photo. And Nick came with the profit.
Insane.
So at the end of Entrepreneurship Day, the people who were selling their cupcakes would make 200-300 rand. This kid was sitting with 2,000-3,000 rand. And then he realized this is a good business.
This is what grade?
3. So I was told, no, you can't
anymore. You cannot participate anymore.
The next year, I said to him, I can't help you. Yeah. You can come up with an idea and then I'll guide you. But Mommy can't help you this year. So he was like, okay, he wants to have like an activity stall. So he and his friend Muno, they were going to do like, like egg and spoon race and whatever. So he was like, okay, Mom, can you help me with like prizes? Yes. I was like, I got you. Because I have clients.
I was just about to say, if you're the CEO of some of the biggest advertising companies, wow, I mean, that's brand heaven.
You call up a client for some vouchers.
But I love that as well, yes.
Because the rules were, you need to deduct the cost, right? Your cost of sales. You need to teach the children. But if it's a donation, it's free.
Yes.
So their profits are bigger. So anyway, my boy gets these hampers. Like Prima Toys was one client at one point. Nando's vouchers, movie tickets, this, that, and these prizes are like wowzers for the kids. It didn't cost anything, right?
Yeah.
So I said to him, okay, so we're going to buy sweets because you need to have some kind of overhead in your business. You can't have a business with no overheads. It doesn't work that way. So we're going to buy sweets and you're going to give like, if they're going to do a hula hoop thing and they win the challenge, you give them a fizzer as a prize. So he was on board. We had I said, you good? You understand how to work all of that? You're going to work with the money and everything fine? Good. He comes home again, 3-4 grand. I'm like, Aiden, what? How?
Amazing.
He was like, don't worry, I couldn't give them the fizzes and the sweets. They had to pay for it.
But you know what I love?
Like, they paid for the prizes. Yes. And they had to pay to participate, to potentially win the hampers.
Yes.
He sold 2 out of the 3 hampers for money.
That's
and then
incredible.
They all had to compete.
What an entrepreneur.
How he come across from Bobby later, this thing. They all had to compete for 1 hamper.
And he's your youngest, Aiden. That's so impressive.
I was like, okay. The teacher said, Mrs. van der Haar, we said no parent. I was like, I had nothing to do with this.
But then you know what I love? It's almost a full circle moment. That was a full circle moment. I say why? Because then again, for any mother watching, that's why it's okay to not feel bad about the fact that you are working.
You know
it's for that reason.
You know what I did tell Aiden though?
Yeah.
You don't eat your profits. Because I didn't want him eating the sweets. So he interpreted it as eating it is like wasting it. So giving it away is wasting when you can charge for it. he taught me a very interesting thing. When you devalue your commodity, your talent, you have a client and the client wants to discount everything, right? And you devalue it. Tomorrow, when you want to charge them the proper rate because you are delivering, it's so much harder.
It is so much harder
to
convince
get
and
what
to
you
get what
actually should be paid
absolutely,
because
yeah.
you devalued your own
Yes.
currency. So he was like, you see all these good stuff, it comes at a price. You want it, you pay for it. I was like, wow, this guy.
But Odette, also you've highlighted something very important for mothers who do work. And I love what you've done because, again, as much as you may feel guilty for not always being able to be there, it's your son being able to tap into that entrepreneurial spirit that you have and that he has inside of him because he's been looking at you and sometimes even mimicking you, that he was able to do what he could.
I didn't realize.
And you tapping into the relationships you have, and it's because of you not being always, present.
When you're
that you
working,
have those
they
relationships.
They got to work. So I didn't realize until that point that your children really don't do what you say. They do what you do, right? So he'll tell you, mommy, you like to work hard, but he will look for efficiencies.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. And then it's because I always tell him a half job is a double job. My children know that. And I want gets nothing. So literally, you can say to any one of them, I want, and then they'll say, gets nothing. A half job is a double job. So they look for efficiencies, but do a proper job while they're doing it. Because even though it's an efficient way, they know that they've still got to do a good job or else they're going to do it again.
So Odette, for mothers who work like you do, what would you like to share with them? Because I think that's so important.
I think it's important to have real conversations with your kids.
Okay.
All the time.
All the time.
About what things cost. Even if you are well off and comfortable. Teach them to switch the lights off because electricity costs money. Teach them to be efficient in what they're doing, but not to do a half job. Teach them the principles of what will make them good people in society, empathetic to the people around them, but real. Social media is a thing. Social media creates the sense of la la land. We work in the entertainment industry. It's not real what they are exposed to all the time.
Yes.
The best way I can always explain this is don't eat the food cooked in a studio kitchen on a live show.
That's so true.
Like pretend test, because it's not real.
It's not real.
It's not real, right? So
great analogy, yeah.
Have your real conversations with your kids and make them understand the realities of life. Not your reality where you are now established in your C-suite office or your very successful business. Have them understand that didn't come from nowhere. But most importantly, make sure that they are not ashamed of who they are. They're not ashamed. I teach my children like our roots. We joke about certain things that I used to eat growing up, and my children like chicken feet, for example.
Love.
Same WhatsApp group. Yeah. My children, like, where do you come from? It's chicken, So you got to be real with your kids. Take them where you grew up. So yes, we live in suburbia now, but take them to where you come from. And remind them that this is where we come from. Be proud of who you are.
I love it so much.
Don't unleash yourself into the world. Unleash your potential. Unleash who you are. I'm, like I said, as creative as I am strategic. So I've been psychometrically tested for every kind of job, right? And then they say to me, I'm a straight line because I'm neither left nor right brain dominant. I'm equal.
Yeah.
So yes, I can crunch the numbers. And yes, I can draw and I can paint. Not the easiest people because you don't fit on this side and you don't fit on that side. But isn't that just typical of me, right?
Yes.
I'm too white to be black. I'm too black to be white. So I'm just the other. But that's my superpower, is I can have the conversation with the bean counters. I can be creative in a brainstorm.
Sure.
I can bring whatever it is that I am to the situation.
So you've always been able to tap into your inner superpower and your uniqueness as well, and understanding that is your edge.
Now I understand it.
Okay.
As a child, I didn't. And as a mom, it is your responsibility to teach your children that who they are, whatever disability they have, is a disability in the eyes of the world, but it's actually their God-given superpower. If they lean into their superpower, they can be unleashed into anything they want to be. Nobody needs to be what the world tells you to be. You can be anything you want to be.
And then, Odette, for the younger version of you as a young mom, for any mother going through the same, what would you like to say to her? How do you get out of that? What were some of the values, or what kept you going, knowing that it was dark at the time and you're hustling and you have your child? You don't know the future. You can feel it. You believe in it. You're optimistic. But what is that drive? What can keep her going? And we're speaking to her now.
For me, you need to have your faith, first of all, as your grounding. Because when you don't know the way, you got to trust the one who makes the way. So to her, who is not seeing like which way, just know that you don't need to be in a bad situation. You can choose to get out of a bad situation, first of all. When you are out of the bad situation, it's not going to be like heaven and easy. It's probably going to be really difficult because now you've got to fend for yourself. You got to hustle for yourself. Yeah, and you got a kid. It's probably not going to be easy, right? My daughter is a single mom. And she told me the other day, because she has toddlers, 15 months old and a 4-year-old.
Yes.
And she said, I'm tired. I said, no, you're a mom. She says, when does this end? It doesn't. Look at you. You're a grown woman with your own child and you're moaning to me, your mother. It doesn't go away, you know. It's not going to get easier. But invest in yourself. Stay learning. Make your brain a sponge. At work, if you need to sweep the floor, sweep the floor. If you need to show up. The most important thing, dress for the job you want to have, not the job you're in. It's the first thing. Take pride in your work. Read the room. Listen more than you talk. Internalize. So listen to hear, not to respond. Because as women, we try to spicy, all the time. You need to have an answer. You need to be heard. You need to have a smart remark. You need to be your voice. No. Sometimes you just need to listen, right? Then most importantly, put your schedule in place. If it's not possible for you to have and stick to your own schedule, try to normalize some kind of routine in your life that you get to do you. Me, it's in the gym, right? You get to do work you when you do work you. Sometimes you have to leave because you've got kids, but then you've got to get back to work. So that's also okay. That's your normal. So you do your work, you do your kids, you're present with your kids, and then I got to get back to work a little bit later, right? You get back to work. And then also schedule your sleep, like you schedule your wake up. Alarm, go and sleep. Sleep. Because an exhausted, depleted, and drained you is no good to anybody, not even you.
Wow. Odette, did you see yourself being the successful woman you are today?
When you say a successful woman, I think, am I? I'm only successful because my kids are successful. I'm only who I am because I have everything in my family. I have an amazing husband. You can take all the business, you can take all the nice things away, but don't take my husband and my kids away.
Yes.
Like, we can live in a mkuku, it's fine.
Yes.
We'll be happy. That's my happiness, that's my joy. I don't measure my success by the world's standards. I measure my success by what makes me truly happy. And what makes me truly happy is I have a good husband. I have a wonderful, wonderful, diverse family. We are blended. We DNA doesn't make you blood. We are loud, we love, we laugh. And that's what fuels me to go out and do what I love to do. I think the piece of advice I would leave with anybody listening, not just a mom or not just a woman, find a job you love, then you'll never work a day in your life. Actually.
Odette, I cannot thank you enough.
Thank you.
You are the icon, the incredible woman you are today because of your story.
Ah,
And we love you so much and appreciate you.
thank you. And you know, looking back, I wouldn't change a thing. Because young Odette, scared, difficult as it was, really has fueled older Odette. And if it wasn't for younger Odette's experiences, older Odette wouldn't be who she is. So when people say, would you write a note to yourself? What would you say? I say, keep on keeping on, sister.
Yes, I
Check
love
you
that.
on the other side.
Keep on keeping on. Thank you so much for being with us today on the Motherhood Network. This was so
Thank
beautiful.
you. Thank you.
We love you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having me.